Something remarkable just happened in London, and it's the strongest evidence yet that getting dirty cars off the road doesn't just clean the air, it repairs children's bodies as well. A landmark 5-year study from Queen Mary University of London, published this week in the Lancet Public Health, tracked more than 3,400 kids aged 6 to 9 across 84 primary schools. So 3,400 kids. It compared children living inside London's ultra-low emission zone with children in Luton, a similar town with no clean air zone. Before the zone launched in 2019, London kids had measurably smaller lungs than Luton kids. Their growth had been stunted by traffic pollution. Imagine living there and finding out this has just happened to your child. 4 years later, London's children had completely caught up. The researchers admitted they were absolutely shocked. They expected the policy might stop further damage. Instead, it reversed damage that had already happened. The number of London kids with clinically impaired lung function fell from 14% to 9%. 14% of kids had clinically impaired lung function. Here's how it works. Any vehicle that doesn't meet modern emission standards pays around $16 per day to drive anywhere in Greater London, home to 9 million people. The results are staggering. NO2 in central London is down 54%. Fine particulate pollution across outer London is down 31%. 99% of air quality monitors show cleaner air. London hit its legal NO2 limits last year, 184 years earlier than scientists once predicted was possible. And with nearly 3 in every 10 new cars sold in the UK now fully electric, compliance is actually getting easier. 4,000 Londoners were dying every year from toxic air, according to the England Medical Association. Now, this policy was politically brutal to introduce. People didn't like it. And, one side of government just tore into the government for doing this. But the children breathing that air today are living proof that it actually worked. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. On the Electric Viking website, I'll put a link in the description below. We have more articles about electric cars and battery technology than any other website that I'm aware of in the world. So check that out. Link is in the description. And there you'll find our videos and analysis and articles about everything going on in the EV world. This channel is now officially translated into 5 languages, each with its own dedicated YouTube channel: Portuguese, Spanish, German, French, and Hindi. Full channels, I'm not talking subtitles. If you speak one of those languages or you know someone who does, the links are in the description. And subscribing in these first weeks will really help me. It'll make an enormous difference to how YouTube pushes them out, because at this point, they haven't gotten a lot of traction yet. It takes a while for things to start. But anyway, we're putting a lot of work into getting this content out there, making this happen. Why does this matter? Well, because the EV transition is not an English language story. Brazil is one of the fastest growing EV markets on earth. And BYD is building cars there. Spain and Latin America are electrifying fast. Germany is the heart of legacy auto industry that's being disrupted. And there's a lot of people who speak German outside of Germany as well. And India is arguably the single most important EV market of the next decade. The audiences in those countries, they deserve their analysis in their own language. At least I think they do. You can already watch my videos on Bilibili, hundreds of them. I'd rather you watch them on a channel that I actually control though. And that's actually up now on Bilibili. I'll put a link in the description to that too. Five months. That's how long it took BYD to completely replace a brand new car. Guys, that's kind of insane. The Seal 07 EV, it launched in China back in March. On the 7th of August, an all-new Seal 07 appeared in China's government filings. And this is not a facelift. This is not an update. It's an entirely new car with a new design, new motors, new technology. No legacy automaker on earth can move like this, and the reason BYD is doing it tells you everything about how brutal the Chinese market has actually become. But I don't know if this is a good thing. I mean, me personally, if I bought a brand new car and then 7 months later there was a new version, I think I might be a little bit annoyed. Anyway, let's start with what's coming. The all-new Seal 07 adopts the design language of the recently launched Seal 08 flagship. It has split headlights with thin marine-inspired LED running lights, a slope bonnet, semi-hidden door handles, and a full-width taillight. It also gets a roof-mounted LiDAR, running BYD's DiPilot 5.0 assisted driving system with Navigate on autopilot functionality. This is flagship hardware trickling down to the more affordable BYD cars. It's a genuinely big car too as well, guys. This car is longer than 5 meters. The new Seal 07 measures 5,080 millimeters long, nearly 2 meters wide, 1,960 millimeters, and it has a 2,960 millimeter wheelbase, so like a 3 meter wheelbase. That means it's 85 millimeters longer and 50 millimeters wider than the car it replaces, making it now a large premium sedan. Curb weight is, for this size, not bad, between 1,960 and 2,060 kilograms, depending on the powertrain. So that's pretty impressive. On the Electric Viking website, I'll put a link in the description below. We have more articles about electric cars and battery technology than any other website that I'm aware of in the world. So check that out. Link is in the description. And there you'll find our videos and analysis and articles about everything going on in the EV world. It sits on 18 or 19-inch wheels. The reason for the smaller wheels primarily comes down to getting more range. The filings reveal 2 rear motor options. The entry car gets 245 kilowatts. The top spec version gets 300 kilowatts. Top speed is 240 kilometers per hour. 2 LFP battery options. The new Blade battery version 2 is obviously in this vehicle. The short blade battery, not the long blade battery. Here's what we can infer from the outgoing model. The car's second generation blade battery, it's a 69 kilowatt lithium iron phosphate battery with 1,500 kilowatt flash charging, doing 10 to 70% battery charge in 5 minutes, 10 to 80% in 6 minutes. So the new car gets that same flash charging, but it looks like it's getting a bigger battery pack. So the range is going to be around 710 kilometers approximately. Now here's the part nobody else is talking about. Why would BYD replace a 5-month-old car? Well, because the current Seal 07 EV flopped. It was a complete sales disaster. They sold 627 units in China in June. Now think about that. A car with 5-minute flash charging, second generation blade battery, a starting price under 35,000 Australian dollars. That's around 23,000 US dollars. Couldn't find buyers because the Chinese market is so ferociously competitive that even great cars die if the design doesn't land. So instead of discounting it into oblivion, BYD built a better one, a better looking one within 5 months.